I am just sharing on Instagram that we are live. And I always run out of time and have to do this right at the beginning. All right. Let me close this a little bit. Goes over there. I am normally much more prepared for this than I am today. I lost a sticky note. I don't know where it went. Oh, okay. Oh, there it is. Hello, hello. Hi, Dre. Oh, Melanie, thank you for resubscribing with Twitch Prime. I can't wait for somebody to subscribe for 3 months so that I can see their little icon change. It feels like Christmas every time I see that little thing. Okay. Sort my life out. I think that they give like a little grace period. I want to say as long as you do it within the month, then it still gives you your streak. Because a few people completely forgot and then did it a week or two later and told me the same thing, that they forgot to do it, but the little thing was still there. I am the most unprepared today. Oh, hi, hello. I know you haven't been here for a few days. And by a few days, I mean a few streaming days. It's been a few weeks. Ooh, Kai! Oh my goodness. This one's gonna be a party. All my favorite people. Okay, this is what I created last time, and I have not touched my desk since I stopped that video, or that stream. So your guess is as good as mine with where we're going with this, but I decided to skip this thing today, and dive right into this one, which so far the first two layouts in here have been some of my favorites, and so I'm afraid now that if I do a third page, I'm gonna hate it. But I've always said that I will never not use a notebook because I'm afraid to ruin it. So I'm gonna do and take my own advice. Hello! Hi, Sylvia. This is such an exciting one. You guys. All of my favorite people just popping up. Okay, instead of staring at the chat, I'm gonna actually figure out what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do the exact same thing that I did here and just use what I have on my desk and see where it takes us. If I don't have a photo to use in here, I'm just gonna print one on my Instax. My cats. Perfect. How is your guys' Thursday? Cody and I were just discussing the fact that it has felt like Friday every day this week, except for Monday. And I can't believe that it's still not Friday. The stream manager has arrived. Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one. I mean, Cody said so as well, so I guess we're getting a little group of people. Okay, I have some really odd combinations on my desk. So we have some black and white floral, which I love. The pieces from Tuesday. Yes. Short weeks always feel the longest once you get back to like your work and everything else. Let's see what else I've got going on here. Cats over everyone else, always. The number of photos I have printed right now of just the cats versus the number of photos I have printed of humans or other things. Probably an embarrassing number. Here are the other papers that I was looking for. There we go. And then if we really need to, I can always grab my scraps, but this will at least give us a starting point. Ooh, I'm jealous. I wish I was off tomorrow. But luckily, all of my annoying meetings happen today, so Friday won't feel quite as long. Those are pretty together. I'll what I have. I already lost it. Oh, here it is. It's from a Felicity Jane kit. I want to say it was part of the Joy kit, and that was... No, maybe it wasn't. I think it was 2017 sometime. Ooh, I wish I was off tomorrow. I think I just read that, but I just read it again and was reminded. Ours does too. I only have so many photos of Cody and I, and if they're usually of one of us with the cats, because that's really the only moments that I remember to pull out the camera because they're photo worthy. I'm just pulling out, I don't know, maybe these florals. The honey's not for this layout. Hello, hello. So excited that everyone is joining. I love seeing I was gonna say I love seeing your faces, but it's really just your names. Some letters. Okay. Let's figure out where I'm going. That one's nice. But I really like those together. I'm pulling out my scraps thing.
you okay?
Everything is good. I just had a mini avalanche. All good. Oh my gosh, Cody, look, we're new to something or we're first to something for once. You guys, records are being made tonight. For once, Cody and I are not the people having things explained to us. But I'm going to let Cody explain what it is.
I already explained it.
Where? Oh, I'm farther down. I see you. There? Yes, that is that song that's going around. I rolled my eyes, and I was all annoyed when Cody was telling me about it. And then I listened to it, and I was like, ah, man, that's going to be in my head for the rest of the night. And sure enough, it still is in my head. Guys, I really can't decide where I want to go with this. Those feel so... Ugh. What about this one? Maybe that one. I think I like that one. Oh, and the other side of this is good. Oh, ooh, yeah, okay. We're getting closer now. We need one more pattern to throw in there. And again, I'm just in that thing I showed you guys the other day. That's a runner-up, contender. And again, I normally do this before we start, but I was very unprepared today. And I figured you guys wouldn't mind. If you could see the number of scraps I have in front of me, you would wonder why I'm taking so long, because there's a ton. Here we go. That's more what I was looking for. See what we can put together with these. The song is not cool? Is that what you're trying to say? It's kind of cool. A little bit.
Oh, no.
I'm not just gonna sit here and lie to you and say that a little tiny bit of it felt catchy to me. But I'm a tune person, so like when I hear a tune that like is neat, I don't really care what like the lyrics or the rest of the song is. I just like the tune. Oh, that's that's my diffuser. I have a little tiny baby diffuser. Coming in. There he is. There's cedarwood, wild orange, and copaiba in there. Yeah, I didn't even think about whether or not you guys would be able to see that coming into the shot. Okay, I'm gonna mat the photos against this wood grain since it's the darkest. It'll be a good anchor. Oh, hi. How are you? Glad you're able to join. How is your daughter's arm and how is the tornado situation? Wasn't that you that was telling me that that happened? Watch, I'm asking you these things and you're like, that was not me at all. I have the worst memory, you guys. So apologies. I was gonna try to cut a straight line, but I already know that I can't, so I gave up on that. Okay. Oh, so close to fitting. That's okay. One of these days I'm gonna get a tiny guillotine trimmer to keep on my desk here so that I don't have to pull out the 12-inch trimmer. Not that it's huge, but it feels like cumbersome. Oh my goodness. Also, I'm glad that I had the right person with the right story. Since my memory isn't quite as bad as I think it is. Can't even imagine living in a tornado zone.
Live in an earthquake zone.
I know, people say all the time, like, oh, but California gets earthquakes really bad. I'm like, yeah, but you know. And then I talk to people that live in tornado zones, and some of them act the same way about the tornadoes. Like, yeah, you know, it's fine. It's not that big of a deal. Earthquakes don't scare me, but tornadoes, like, ugh. Okay, see, they're not as spooky as everyone makes them seem. Especially because for the first however many years of your life. What are you laughing at?
Sorry, the mess.
$18. That's me right now. But, like, do you guys agree that tornadoes are way scarier than earthquakes? Or is that just me because for the first however many years of your life you do earthquake drills? Well, I don't know if they still
did tornado drills.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, like, is that what causes people to be less afraid of these things? Hmm. Yeah, I mean, they're not pleasant, but I don't feel like I need to cry hysterically when they happen, and that's how I would feel if a tornado was anywhere near me. Okay. Now I am trying to figure out where I want to go from here. Good point. I know, it's terrible. Let's see. I have 3 different patterns here. These 2 look like they're the same. This is from Crepe Paper Craft Market, and this is from the American Crafts Wildflower line that I'm always talking about. So I figured if I used them, they would be, to the eye, they'd look the same. But I'm kind of liking this combination with a little bit of this and maybe a pop of this yellow with the wood grain. Yes. Okay, now to figure out where on the page I want to put these papers. Thinking I want to do a strip across the center and do the strips ripped so they're kind of like messy. Let's see. And because this is here, I have a good excuse to use 2 pieces, so it doesn't have to be one long piece. And I like this down here, so I think I'll aim to use this section. I hope that, oh yeah, it's showing up. Wasn't sure if you could see that one. Which flowers? The craft market flowers or the wildflower flowers? Or just flowers in general? I feel like this is paper crafting ASMR. Flowers in general. Okay. I'll show you how I'm thinking about using them. We'll see if it goes to plan. And I want the strip to be kind of thick. And I am okay using this entire sheet of this pretty floral paper because I made the bold decision one day, forever and ever ago, to buy a 25 pack of this paper. So I had 25 sheets of this exact same paper. And I'm still using it. Okay. Hello, Larissa. Yeah, most normal people only have one as well. Sometimes I question my decisions. Okay, I'm gonna put that right there. Let me make a mark so that I can put adhesive on this without losing. Here's my pencil. Can you not get yourself to use it because it's so pretty and you don't want to, don't want it to be gone? Or can you not get yourself to use it because you don't really know what to use it for? Or how to make it fit into a layout? I'm gonna put the adhesive a little farther back in case I decide I want to add any layers underneath this one. I can still tuck them under because this is a pretty strong adhesive. Ooh, exciting! That's really exciting. Yeah, it should be there by now. You're not that far, so. I just said I was gonna not put adhesive on the edges and then I got distracted reading your guys' comments and I did, so that's okay. We're gonna stick them down anyway. Go from there. Yeah. I used to feel like I couldn't cut into the floral as well. Like I didn't want to, it's just pretty, I don't know. And then I just did it one day. It became a lot less scary. And I get it, like you only have one of like a super pretty paper. You want to use it well. You just gotta go for it. I'll show you how I'm gonna use this one and see I've already cut straight into it. You just gotta jump in there. I'm gonna cut this before it sticks to something because I can still use it for something else. Setting that aside with the adhesive side up so that it doesn't stick to anything. And fussy cutting flowers is, well, it is an option. I know you said you didn't care for. that is one of the techniques that I like to use with floral papers that I feel like I don't want to like chop up and cover up the florals. I usually will either fussy cut them, or you could use them as a layout background, and if it's too bold of a floral, you could use like a white gouache or a white gesso. Gesso's a little thicker. If you want a light color, I would go with gouache to just kind of tone it down a little, but then you can still see the floral pattern. Okay. And then I'm gonna do the same to this side. Okay. Yes, you should. That's a great use for a smash book. All right, that's as far as I got when I saw those papers. I knew I wanted to do this, but then I didn't really think it through after that. So we're gonna just go with the flow. See where it takes us. Thinking of doing basically torn layers down on each side. Have another, I wanted them to be even, so like one on this side and one on this side, but I don't have enough of this pattern. So I am going to, let me think. Maybe we'll skip that idea and we will start making like chunky layers for the photo, because then you can kind of use anything anywhere. So let's go with that for now. Other than this one, I thought I pulled out one more. Oh, I have an eyelash in my eye. Stream manager, can you please look and see if you see this eyelash that's in my eye? Thank you. Ow. Stand by, friends.
Oh, it's not an eyelash.
What is it?
Oh,
What is it?
it's a huge hair.
Like
Well, it's not huge.
one of my own hairs?
Put on your glasses and look at it. This whole thing was in your eye. Just the tip was poking out.
Oh my goodness, that's like it's like a full-length piece of my own hair. Ugh. Eyeballs are weird. Okay, back to what we were doing. Sorry, guys. It does not have a specific purpose. It's kind of I got into like a creative funk last year because I was doing a lot of creating for other people. I was creating for a lot of brands other than my own, and doing a lot of creating only for work, and it took all of my energy, and then I wasn't really creating for fun or for myself. And so at the beginning of this year, I made a deal with myself that it was gonna be like 80-20, 80% my own stuff, 20% for brands and stuff. And it's been 5 months, but I'm still just now getting to the point where I feel like I'm comfortable crafting for myself again, and like I know what my style is, or because I have to redevelop my style basically. And so this is like my playbook where I'm just playing with different colors, different textures, basically anything that makes me happy is going to go in here. but it is for actual layouts. This one that I shared is more for like experimenting, because like I did this one last stream, and I mean, my eyes don't prefer to look at it. But then I played with something else over here, so this is more of the experiment to find my style notebook. I feel like I did not explain that well. It probably is paper scraps in my eye because I trim off little shreds and then they get stuck to me from the adhesive, and you know, things end up all over the place. Okay. I just am really loving that photo right there. Thank you guys. I love them too. They're a lot of fun, and I'm excited to get back into personal creativity a little bit more. Yes to scribble journaling. I just wrote a whole post on Instagram about how it's changed my life and I'm obsessed with it. I did not hand letter happy. That is a sticker from one of the Maggie Holmes sticker books. I don't remember. I think it was from the, yeah, it was from the first one, not from the Journal Studio, this one. You can get it at Hobby Lobby or like scrapbook.com. You can get them a lot of places. Okay, good. Sometimes I hear like the explanation in my head, and then I try to put it into words, and I don't feel like it makes any sense. You guys know what I'm talking about. Okay, my next layer is going to be this floral paper. I like the little bits that are sticking out, and I think you can tell it's a floral. Other people might not, but again, this is for me, and I know it is, so I'm gonna go with it. This one is from a local shop here near me called Shorthand, and they do have a website, and you can order from them online, so you can get this notebook from them online. They have grid pages, blank pages, lined pages, and a ton of other cute goodies. In the post that I shared of the layout in this, either one of them, I have a tag. I tagged them. See if you want to go to their Instagram. And then the other one, the larger one, is from Daiso, the like dollar store. And it was $1.50. And I do double up the pages because they're thin and very porous, so they can't hold a lot of weight. So I double them up, but it works for just some free play, and it was only $1.50, so quite the deal. All right. I'm being very meticulous about my tape tonight, and I'm not sure why, but we're gonna go with it. Yeah, this big one said scrapbook in little squares, and then it had these funky little icons, and I just covered it with stickers and papers and things. So you have to look for, what are they called? Diamond in the rough. Yeah, they just started popping up in California maybe a couple years ago. Not that. They haven't been around here for that long, that I know of at least. Okay. I love that blue against the blue from the floral against the wood green. And neither of them, I mean, especially the Daiso notebook cannot hold liquid at all. I don't even use gouache, my acrylic gouache. I don't really use any any sort of paint. I will use like inks for stamping since they're doubled up, but I wouldn't use any sort of paint in there if that's what you want them for. The shorthand notebooks have really good quality paper. It's not made for any sort of liquid medium, so you'd probably get quite a bit of warping, but I think it would hold up to the watercolor if you didn't mind, or like the acrylic paint or whatever you're using, if you didn't mind the warping. I mean, I myself love a good crinkle of a warped page, so a lot of times that doesn't bother me. Are you guys crafting tonight with me, or are you just watching? I usually ask you that, but I didn't today. I'm curious. Thinking something like that. For this one, I am following a design tip that I don't tend to stick to very much. I mean, occasionally, but she's facing this way, so she's going into the layout, and Ellie is kind of sort of looking this way, so she's also going into the layout. So it kind of pulls it together. I don't always follow that. I know most people do. But occasionally, I find it comes in handy on a layout to kind of bring it all together to the eye. Yeah, today, I mean, I think it's probably because I've felt like it's been Friday for forever. It feels like a just watch kind of relaxy night. I'm just adding this on there. I don't know for sure if I'm going to leave it there, so that's why I only put one strip of adhesive, and it is permanent, but sometimes you can pry it off with little damage. Totally get not being in the mood for crafting. That happens to me quite often, so I get that. Sometimes it's nice to just soak in creativity and not really do any creating of your own, to take a little break. Yeah, the rule is really, it's a good one. I don't have anything against it. Especially if you, sometimes people don't feel confident in like their ability to pull a layout together. Like they have all their pieces, but they feel like they're missing something. That can kind of tie it together. So it's a good one. I like it. All right. June planner setup. Oh my gosh, you guys. I haven't even printed out my June planner inserts. That's a chore that I have to do after. I say a chore, but I enjoy it after stream tonight because we're so close. Oh, go you, Sylvia. Making pages during your breaks. That's a good use of time. A good way to squeeze in a little creativity. Oh no, is it really not downloading? Has anybody else tried to download the Wonky Star paper pack from the Dropbox link in the download library? Okay, I need some more rippage going on. There's a lot of straight lines and a very little amount of messy, so I need to bring more messy in. Hi Pamela. How are you tonight? I'm gonna do, I don't know why I just started whispering at you guys. I think I'm going to do a strip of yellow down the center of these, and it's gonna be thinner, so let's try that and see where it goes. I'll take a look at it, Allie, and in the meantime, just send me an email to hello@maidenmojave.com, and I'll just send the file to you. Because I know that you are subscribed and that you should be able to access it, so we will get it taken care of. Ooh, I like it. Okay, let's do this other side now. I think I'm going to put this one over here, and then this one's going to have a white edge, and it'll be over here to kind of balance the white edges. I like little details like that. What else? Everybody's getting their planners ready for June. I'm there with you guys. I am going to print my inserts tonight, and then tomorrow I will be trying to sort out my life. Okay. I actually really like that. How cute. Let's go ahead and adhere it down. Ooh, I'm so excited to see that accordion thing for Gibson's graduation, Drea. It's gonna be so cute. Did you decide to do the front and the back, or are you just doing the front? That's not. Here it is. Okay. Adhere this side first because the edge of the paper goes up, and I want to make sure it's placed in a spot where I'm getting a good amount of the blue showing from behind, and it's not too much of an angle, so I think right there. And I'll match this one up with the other side. Sorry guys, I gotta pull it in here and get my head over there. There we go. Ooh, yay. I can't wait to see it. It's gonna look great. Okay. That side. Like the direction that this is going. I don't want to cover up a lot of the ripped edges, but thinking I'm gonna have to cover a little bit on each side to make it work. Maybe I want to bring them both in a little. No, I like the edges. So I think I'll do something like that, and then maybe we'll do like a little title across there or something. We'll figure out some sort of embellishment situation. A tape. Although it still is my favorite tape. It is still my favorite tape. I think that might be crooked, but they usually are, so glad I'm sticking to it. I feel like I had something to tell you guys, and it completely escaped my mind as soon as I started putting adhesive on this photo. I'm not too worried about them being even, like this and this, but I am trying to have them at least be similar. You know, I just looked on my screen at this. I don't like the photo placement. Not I'm not a fan, but that's okay. I'll finish the layout and then it will have helped me know for next time. I love these clear stickers, so we're going to try to fit some of those in there. What else? I have a ton of die cuts in this thing. Maybe I can find. They're all really huge though. That's the main problem. Let's pull this thing over. And these are all Citrus Twist die cuts. I'm just gonna see if any of them apply or match the color theme that we've got going on. One's a close match. I've been struggling with embellishments recently. I've noticed that in the past few layouts I've created, I feel like I get stuck with the layout as soon as I get to the embellishing, and that used to be the part that I felt like I shined in, like that's where my creativity like really ran wild. But I don't know what it is about recent that I have just been in a bit of a embellishment funk. Okay, nothing is catching my eye, unfortunately. This thing did. Also, you guys. So, here's something to chat about. My Cricut Cuttlebug. Cody and I call it a cuddlebutt. Snugglebutt. Thank you. I've given up on him, her, it. It's a him. Let's be real. I was mentioning in a past stream that the plates, the B plates, basically are like crunching into nothing. Like they feel like they're destroying the machine, and they're all warped into like this U-shape thing. And after talking with people and then doing some research online, that was like the biggest complaint with the Cuttlebug, was that it was doing that to the plates. And then all of a sudden, apparently Cricut like discontinued them, so you can't buy replacement plates. And I don't know if they're just like selling out of the last stock that they have of them, but apparently they're discontinued from what I know. I could be 100% wrong. So anyway, all of that to say, I haven't been able to use my dies recently, which are the embellishments I've been leaning toward. So today I took advantage of the scrapbook.com sale and I ordered a Big Shot. So if any of you guys use one, tell me what you think of it. I have heard wonderful things. The reason I've avoided it is just because of how large it is. I don't have a huge space, but hopefully in the future I will. So I'll make the room because I know it's something that'll last. But yeah, and if you don't use either of those, what kind of die cutting machine do you use? Oh, I hate when that happens. When you're working on something, or because you did Week in the Life, didn't you? And then it like sucks all the creativity out of you, or is that kind of what happened? Because that happens to me a lot. Hello, hello. I didn't even know Xbox could have a Twitch app, Caitlin. So I just learned something. I was looking at this and wondering how I could incorporate it. I think I might try. It's a very muted gold foil, and the sticker itself is clear. So I have a couple thoughts on how I can trim strips and add them in here for a little bit of interest and detail. Um, I've noticed that I'm leaning toward things like that as embellishments more than like die cuts right now. So, or like these types of die cuts. So I don't know. Maybe it's just a phase and a funk that I'm in, and I'll get out of it. I was gonna ask you guys or tell you guys something right before I started on that rant, and I already forgot what it was. So let's hope it comes back to me. Oh, the Xbox. Um, we got rid of our Xbox not that long ago. We just weren't using it. So now we just have Switch, PlayStation, and we have a Wii, but we haven't used it in a long time. And most of them I don't really even know how to use except for my few games. Oh my gosh, you guys. Okay. You guys were around for the conversation of how I love board games, but I can't really do video games. They just like aren't my thing if they're not Mario. And then Cody was laughing at me because I like to play Mahjong for like $9.99, I think it was. We found Mahjong on the Switch, and you guys, it's a game changer. I have spent some hours in the past week getting my Mahjong on, and I am obsessed. I really want a Gemini Junior, um, but I can't really justify the price tag at the moment. And I I didn't want to wait until I could get the Gemini to get a die cutting machine because I want to use my dies. I'm already missing them, so I went with the big shot. But I'm glad to hear that you do like it. I'm gonna cut this off because now I'm gonna use my paper trimmer on this sticker, and we're just gonna go for it. It's probably daring of me to just chop up this beautiful sticker, but I'm gonna try it because why not? That's a term. That is a term that we use in this house. Getting my mahjong on. I have not seen it or read the book, so I can't help there. I know that it is a game that originated in like a physical form. It wasn't like on the computer, obviously. But I have never played that version of it. I've only ever played it on like the computer or now the Switch or like my phone. Oh yeah, the HSN still has them. The Geminis. I think they have the original, they have the junior, and then they have the is it extra large or is it extra small? I can't remember. But they have that one as well. Okay. I didn't need to do the whole sticker, but I figured why not? Maybe I could use the strips as like washi somewhere. Now I'm just going to pick the ones that I like because I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to go with the ones that have the most detail because it's pretty. We'll do these. Keep that one out. Because I do want them to have that interest behind the photos. These, I'm going to have to cut them in half and like work them in. So. Yeah, they're having their huge die cut sale, like 40 to 60% off. And if you want to make it even better and help a sister out, there is an affiliate link to scrapbook.com in my Instagram bio. Um, yeah, which die set is it? Do you know which nested die set? Oh, the nested tags. I just got those a couple months ago and I'm obsessed. And I know a few other people that ordered them during the last die cutting sale as well. That's when I ordered mine. And they're obsessed as well. I haven't heard a single person tell me they were disappointed with that die set. Some of them. But again, my plates are warped, so I can't use certain dies. My plates are like extremely, I cannot get this in there. Extremely warped. So some dies, even if they would fit, I can't get to fit in mine. Oh my gosh, I am fighting with this sticker. The cool thing about the, where did my, I have a better idea. The cool thing about the sale is that to buy the Big Shot in the sale, it's on sale, so it's like 80 something, 99, and then they have their scrapbook.com bundle, so it comes with the machine, the plates, and a nested die set, and they have a few different options for the exact same price. So I got all sorts of free goodies. I feel pretty satisfied with my deal. Okay, I'm gonna go with it there. And then peel the rest of this off. The problem was that I couldn't, there we go. I couldn't get the tape behind the photo at all. I couldn't, even if the photo was lifted, it wouldn't go under because of all the stick. And it's crooked, but because the sticker's clear, you can't really tell, so I'm not too worried about it. Hi, Jen. I'm glad you're able to join us. Okay. Quick water break. Have to stay hydrated. Okay, I have to tell you guys, I thought I would really love that, and I don't like it at all. So, I love this sticker still, and I will use it for something else, but I'm going to peel that piece of it off because I don't want it there. And then we'll just stick these in this little thing, and they will get used at some point. There we go. Okay. Let's... I'll wait to adhere that down in case I want to tuck something else in. What should I try next? I still want to do some embellishing, but I don't know what kind. Oh, you know what I should have thrown in there? Some sort of book paper. You really can't go wrong with it. I have a pouch with some. Let's see if we can find one that we like. Here's more from Three Musketeers. I have like a million Three Musketeers pages in here. Oh, I like the music. We're gonna go with that. Plus, it's a good size for this page. All right. Try number 2. Ah! Get a little better about this. I would have figured out what I wanted to do ahead of time, I'd have avoided all of this, but that's okay. Ooh, I love that. But then again, that's what I thought about the about the other one until I got it adhered. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that. Go ahead and add a little bit of adhesive. Line it up there. It's a little crooked, but there's a little blue showing through there. That's fine though. Sometimes if you just use your nail against the edge of the book paper, you can get a natural tear so that it doesn't look like you chopped that edge with scissors, since this edge is like nice and natural. Cats do love music. I agree. Oh, thank you guys. You were so kind to me. I just love that I'm able to share my craftiness with you guys. So much fun. I think that doing the stream has even like encouraged me to do more creating for myself. So it's really been like the best decision. I'm so excited that we decided to finally do this after like over a year of saying we were going to. By we, I mean Cody and I, because I needed his help setting up my initial production, and of course to be the best stream manager. Okay, so I'm just gonna try to... There we go. I got that nice natural edge again. Alright. What else do I want to add? Let's look in this thing. This is where the book page came from, so maybe we'll find some more goodies to throw on here. I like that you guys are enjoying the different creative styles that I've been sharing, because it really has been from like one end of the spectrum to the other. And some of them, like today, have absolutely no plan, and I was worried that that might annoy people, like watching me dig through my stuff and try to figure out what I'm doing. Should have known, you guys are my people. Alright, I'm not seeing anything that's catching my eye, so I'm gonna dig down here in my little drawer of die cuts, see what we can find. Some miscellaneous stuff, some hearts, that's a possibility. Numbers and some letters, maybe? And then I'll pull out this random one because there's a little bit of everything in here. Hearts are going to be the last resort because I use those a ton on layouts, so I'm trying to branch out, try new things. Last year I got into such a routine of like doing the exact same layout every single time. It was like a formula. Just give me new product and I plug the product into the formula, and I was like a little robot, a creating robot. I'm trying to get out and try do some experimenting. Oh good, I'm glad it makes it relatable, because I am seriously, if you guys could be here when I'm crafting, half the time I'm like yelling at my paper for sticking to the wrong place and covering up rips and tears and partially catching my paper on fire, because that's happened quite a few times. Sorry, I fell a little behind in our chat. I was catching up with you guys. It is in my Instagram bio. So, you know, my little link tree thing. If you just scroll down, it says scrapbook.com and it lets you know it's an affiliate link. I would never not disclose that to you guys. But I truly appreciate when you use those links. I do. Those types of things are what helps me invest in my nice lighting or like my microphone or my camera, things like that. So, and so that I can afford to buy new products so that we can play with them. And I hope to get to the point where I can get things so that you guys can see them before you, so like you can tell me, oh, I've been looking at buying this, but I wasn't sure, and then I can get it and test it and we can play with it and I can tell you kind of like a review type thing. You can see it in action. I think that would be really fun. Or like you guys have products that you don't know how to use and we could do like a crafty session where we plan ahead of time, like we're all gonna pull out our floral die cuts and we're gonna play with them and share different ways to use them and things like that, and it feels like we're crafting together. I hope that makes sense. That's like my ultimate goal, but you know, slow and steady. All that to say, thank you for your support. I appreciate it. Well, I'm glad to hear that you are using your die cuts wisely. So these are mostly Felicity Jane die cuts. There are a few from Studio Calico thrown in here and a few from other places as well. I'm looking at these. The safety pin one, no. I don't really care for marble, and this has marble on it, so probably not, but maybe I could use the other side. I'm interested in these, is what I'm saying, so we'll pull them out and see if, not this layout, but another layout, because they're kind of bold colors. Ooh, my number 12, this one. You are going to love it. You are going to love that brush. I'm so excited for you. Since getting that one, I mean, I'll use my water brushes because, you know, when I'm traveling, sometimes I don't feel like bringing that one, even though it's the best, and I try to bring it every time I travel. I haven't used any other brushes for watercolor since. These are all really summery. Okay. I'm gonna dig into this last die cut thing, and then I'm just gonna have to start getting more crafty than I already am, because clearly we need to embellish this thing. I think a lot of people have that problem. I think that the Felicity Jane kits all go so well together that when you pull in another product, it almost feels like it clashes simply because of how well all of her products go together. I'd be happy to do a topic of a stream like next week or the week after. I can pull out some Felicity Jane products and then also some non-Felicity Jane products and show you how that's cute. So is that one. Show you how I combine them and make them feel like a cohesive layout, if that would help. The blue doesn't really go. Good night, Larissa. Thanks for joining. All right, guys, we're getting there. I feel like I wish that was in a different... Ooh, those colors go so nicely with that. Can Brave have... My cats, I mean, are not brave at all. My cats are scared of everything. But I love that color palette. Let's see if we can find something else with those colors for this, because then it would be a definite winner. Okay, I like the green. Okay, yeah. Let me make myself an... Oh, this is cute. I'm needing more of this. I always need more of my cats, but I feel like it kind of clashes, so I'll hold off. Hold on, let me grab my pencil and write myself a note really quick. There's my paper. Okay. I will aim for next week or the week after at the latest. Depends on what I can put together. That one's cute. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. This was the box we needed. I'm loving the wood grain. I feel like it's pulling things together. And this little wood veneer or wood grain heart says you, so like heart you. But I might just leave the pieces in there so it just looks like a wood grain heart. We'll see. More of that color, but I don't care for the font for this particular layout. Getting closer though. A lot of these are Citrus Twist. So hopefully I can find a few more along the same color palette. Ooh, I love that one. I'm gonna leave that out for something. That might be cute. No, the color clashes. I want something to layer underneath that little thing that I put over here. This says you are completely adorable. I rarely scrapbook photos of anyone that I think that of, so my cats it is. Okay, you guys, my real life stamp set is completed. I have to finish formatting so that I can send for samples, but it is happening. So I'll do a pre-order for that as soon as I receive my samples and make sure that they're of acceptable quality and everything. But the happiest day ever. When I almost did a stamp that said the best day. No, the best day ever. And then I was thinking to myself, like, very few days that I can consider the best day ever. So I'm really excited for you guys to see what I did instead. But it's good and you're gonna like it, I promise. Not to tease you too much since I can't tell you what it is, but know that you placed the deed of making this stamp set in good hands and I will not let you guys down. That's cute. Documenting daily life. That's a tough one because there are so many different ways to do it. So I think it depends on your preferred method of documenting. Like, do you use scrapbook layouts or do you do pocket pages or traveler's notebooks? Do you do more journaling or more mixed media? Like what kind of thing? Or do you like all of them and that's maybe why you're struggling? Okay. I feel like we have a good set. I'm gonna try to pick up the pace here going through these so we can get back to doing our layout. Oh, that doesn't go with that layout, but that's a good one. This is from the Wildflower collection that, of course, you know. I actually the other day was like contemplating drafting an email to American Crafts to ask them if they could put the digital collection on their digital site. I'm sure they're inundated with requests of things like that, so I don't know if it would ever be seen, but that's how badly I want the digital version so that I can print more. No. Ooh, this deep blue looks really nice. I could maybe cover that or cover family and use one of those tags, so I'm going to keep those out. I'm gonna go back to the documenting daily life thing, just have some thoughts, even without knowing like specifics. Um, where was I going with that? I had a thought and then I forgot it. Oh, so I do weekly pocket pages and I just have a bunch of random photos from the week, and at some point, definitely not at the end of that specific week, but at some point in my life, I print out a few of the photos and I create a spread of the week. But what I did one time, and I didn't do it for a whole year, but I did do it for like a month or two, is I would choose one photo each week that I felt represented like what was going on in our lives at the time, and I just documented that one photo. And you could do it in a traveler's notebook, you could do it in a little 4x4 pocket album, you could do it in an art journal, or you could even do just one photo per day and keep it really simple and maybe do only a little bit of embellishing. Okay, yeah, the traveler's notebook kits are a great thing to use for that, especially because if you subscribe to them, and that's cute, but it doesn't go with this. If you're subscribed to them and you get them every month, then you can use one traveler's notebook each month and select like either one photo from your day that sums it up and then do that for the month, or you could do like a couple photos from your week and do a couple spreads with those photos. Um, Good night, Mandy. Thanks for joining. What else? You could use the um, you could use the traveler's notebook kits in your pocket pages if you like the stuff that comes in the kit, but you prefer the pocket page format. I don't want to get too sidetracked, but I do want to show you guys what I did. Where's my oh, I know. See, I put things away. Find them. I think it was. No, this is the most recent. Let's see if it was in this one. Nope, this is a pocket. I think it's in here. My life is run on pouches. Yes. So for one of the traveler's notebook kits, I opened it up to the center and I pulled the staples out, and then I just took a couple page by page and I just slit them down the center. Then you have little mini pattern papers, and I have been using these to do traveler's notebook sized layouts, but putting them in the Life Crafted album from Citrus Twist. And you could cut these down to be cards for your pocket albums, things like that, if you just like the contents of it and you don't really care for the traveler's notebook size. All right, let's do this. I didn't find anything for that, but I still really love it. Acetate pieces. So we can definitely make something work with these. A lot of labels, but on labels you can put stamps, so you're kind of making your own embellishments. Oh, Mandy, I don't know if you're still here and can hear me, but thank you for subscribing for your second month. Trying to use it as like a layering piece. Oh, putting the yellow behind that would work. Doing something like that, and then family can poke out a little, because I'll probably do another embellishment over on the outside of this, like that. Something. Oh, a circle. Cut this circle in half, if I can pick it up. Scissors. Upping the brightness a little bit. That you guys have good lighting. Never tell. One of these days I'll figure it out which picture is the accurate one out of the three that I'm looking at. Ooh, that's cute. A little cluster. Okay, I'm going to start with that. I'll put some stamped phrases on this little circle. These, I'm going to keep it simple and use some staples. While I'm getting all of this adhered down, I really liked chatting with you guys about like all the details of everything that I usually say. Oh, you know what I just realized? I don't like it right there. Good night, Babs. I don't like how it's completely centered over the photo. Okay, we'll do slightly to the right. Oh my gosh. You. The love I have for you. You get me. Get me. And I will be stalking those cat photos as soon as I'm done. I really enjoyed doing like my little chat with you guys in the middle of the stream rather than the end. I think I'm gonna put a star or something over that. Oh, get it fully covered. Actually, I'll fully cover it, and then down here where it hangs off, I'll put like a sticker or something. So that way, oh, I did adhere that. That way at the end of the night, I can actually pay attention to what's going on. I can like say goodnight to you guys and stuff. So I always like to remind people just of the basics in case this is their first stream. We have a Facebook group. It's linked in my Instagram bio, and it's through the Creatives Club. There are a lot of like freebies and stuff that I put up there. Don't forget to follow along on Instagram, Twitter, and or Facebook, wherever you are most active. That's where I post the weekly schedules and also any news regarding the streams, and share more details about... Sorry, I'm looking for my stamp set that I apparently put somewhere to remember and then lost. So maybe not. Oh, here it is. I've located the stamp set. That's my... Wait, here we go. This is my photo set that stays nice for photos, so I use my samples. Any news regarding the stream, as well as info for the free downloads for subscribers. And then don't forget to follow along here on Twitch, because it does help other people discover the channel and join our crafty community, so we have more friends here. And yeah, subscriptions are available whenever if you guys want to take advantage of that. Oh, and perhaps the most important is don't forget to use our hashtag right here, MIMCraftyStream, when you post your photos of your projects that you're working on pretty much any social media, wherever you post. I'm sliding this behind this photo, so I'm going to trim a little bit of it off. Good night, Caitlin. Thanks for joining. Oh my gosh, Tiny Pixel Bob Ross is the best. Look at him. He's so accurate for being so pixelated. Where is my bone folder? Here it is. We're going to use this to pry this stuff up. Oh my goodness. I am constantly losing things because I have a very whoa, ripped that paper. Really messy crafting station. It's chaotic and it's messy. I don't care because that's how I work, but I'm always losing things, always. They just end up who knows where. Okay, we're getting there, you guys. I'm feeling it. I abandoned this because I want to do the stamping for both sides at the same time. Thinking I'm gonna do we'll do an angle for that, and then I need to figure out what I want to put there. So let's go ahead and adhere this down. Was that vibrating someone's music, Cody? Was that vibrating someone's music?
I think it was a car.
Oh, okay. Felt like the whole floor was vibrating. Yes, I always recommend combining things, especially if you have a preference, like a certain thing that you really love doing, like if pocket pages are your thing or traveler's notebooks are your thing. Let's see, maybe I'll stick a tab in there too to try to get more, or I'll stick the tab in here like that. Get some layers upon layers going on. Where are my tweezers? Here they are. I always have a hard time with things like this. They're so slippery, and once they stick on to whatever they touch, they don't want to be moved. Okay. And some of this right here. Pull it out a bit so that I can still put my stamped phrase on there. I'm gonna slide it down because I want that blue to really show up there. Okay, now we're gonna go in with our stamped phrase. I want one for each, and I want them to be different. So I think I might keep it simple, and on one of them I will do currently, because this is like our current situation. They sleep in these spots. And then I'll do documented, which you guys know is my favorite stamp from this set. I'm gonna need to wash it here soon because it's losing its stick. And I know baby wipes work, but I just wait until it gets so bad that it needs to be washed, and then I dunk it in a little soapy water. All right, do I want to use black is my next question. Or do I want to go with one of my new loves, this sepia color? Oh, it's so difficult. Yes, thank you, Jen. You guys are so good to me, sharing your animal photos with me so that I can have something to look at after the stream is over. Because usually after it's over, my back and like all my joints are killing me from sitting in this stupid chair. So I go and I lay in bed and I stalk the hashtag to see what you guys are creating. And sometimes you guys gift me these little nuggets of animal photos that are just truly the best things ever. So it may seem like a little thing, but I love it. Oh, darn, Sylvia. I read your comment after I stamped already. We might have to do a few more phrases anyway. I like a sprinkling of stamps. We'll do the next ones in sepia. Okay. I like those. There are a few other phrases that I kind of wanted to do anyway, so we'll do those in that other color. So there's one that says, "This makes me happy." Where is it? Ooh, do I want to do "This makes me happy" or "Happy Little Moments"? I'm going to do "This makes me happy." Where are my larger acrylic blocks? Oh no. I think it was more my scatterbrainness. I'm very like all over the place tonight. I'm still gonna blame it on the fact that I have thought it was Friday for like the past 4 days. My brain is just not in the words of our stream. Brain just feels in a constant state of I am confused. Okay. Finally got that straight. Sometimes with these thin phrases, it's hard not to have a little curve in them. Thank you for subscribing. Is it Danny? I'm hoping that that's what it is, because sometimes I call people by the wrong name when I try to interpret their screen name. Either way, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I get a little note every time someone subscribes, and every single time I show Cody and get excited. I give him like hourly updates of statistics having to do with my stream. Danny, okay, good. I'm glad I got that right. Let's see. I'm gonna do This Makes Me Happy. Where do I want it? Right here. And I've just recently been stamping until my stamp doesn't stamp anymore, and it is like messy, and I love it. The good messy. Good night, Melanie. I'm glad you were able to tune in for a little bit. I'll be sure to share the outcome on Instagram. And then I want to do another stamp over here, I think, like up, I don't know, maybe on the side, somewhere in this general vicinity. Let's see. Maybe I'll do details of today or the little things. That really, is they're like, it's the small things like watching my cats sleep that make me happy. Okay, so I'm gonna set this on my desk, and then I use the lines of my acrylic block to keep it straight. Let me figure out where, you know what I like about this archival ink? I haven't been using it for very long, so I've told you guys before that it's kind of in a trial period here in my crafting room, or space. I don't have a full room. Is that it is archival, and you can stick it, you can use it to like stamp on photos and stuff, as far as I know, as far as I've used it for. But it doesn't dry as quick as the StazOn, so you have a little bit of time. If you change your mind, it'll still create a really nice dark impression. So I appreciate that. Little things right there. We haven't really done anything. I guess this one's sideways, so maybe I want to do it over here. This shouldn't be this hard. I'm going to put it right there. Sometimes I make things 10 times more difficult than they need to be. I think I like that. Not bad. All right. Now I'm thinking maybe like word strip stickers or something. It needs something, and I just can't decide what it needs. I'm trying not to use splatters in this notebook, because I don't want the pages to stick together, and sometimes with certain papers, no matter how long you let the Heidi Swapp Color Shine dry, once you close the book, it will still stick to each other and then kind of like pull little fuzzies off your page. And I'm trying to avoid that in this one, so I'm avoiding splatters using my Color Shine. I'm a little bit too lazy to get out like watercolors to do splatters, so thinking apps. Gotta get a look at it. It's definitely missing something. We could do a few wood veneer pieces. Do I want stars or do I want hearts? Hearts. Although, last stream I mentioned, I have been struggling with my clusters. I don't know what it is. I wanted to cover that spot up. We'll do a cluster of like 3 maybe? I don't think I like the wood veneer hearts. Here we go. What about some puffy hearts? Cannot go wrong with some good old puffy hearts. Yes, okay. I'm feeling in my element now. Get the placement just right when you're trying to cover something so that it looks natural. And I'll do a little tiny like clustery thing. Okay, I like it. I feel like I want to add something with staples over here. And I might make it easy and just... No, I'm not, because I'm ripping the paper and I don't want to deal with that. So I will figure out somewhere to put a staple, don't you worry. I'm sure you guys were not worried. These puffy hearts are from Ellie's Studio. I love a good puffy heart, and these ones are some of my favorites. Let's put a little white one right here. Cute little clustery thing. Maybe. Wait, hold on. Sometimes it's hard for me to get a good look at it when I'm not right over the top of it. I do like this one, but I need the placement to be a little better. Yeah, that's cute. Let me put a little more adhesive because it doesn't want to stick. I like that they're matte also. Okay. Hold that there for a sec. Oh, I completely moved that heart in. Ugh. Making a mess. Where was it? It was like right there, I think. If not, that's where it's going to be now. Just set this acrylic block on there. Okay. All right. Let's. Maybe I should add. I kind of want to go heart crazy. I feel like it needs one over here. And then maybe a little yellow one like up here. Or do I want it over here? Let's see, that should be dry by now. Yeah, I think this, maybe it's just too small. Drea. I like you. Thank you. I'm glad you think my layout is cute, and I'm glad you think that I am not. You are so sweet to me. Not that you don't vocally think I'm cute. I will clarify. I can't decide where I want these hearts. That is a really good idea. I found another type of fine liner bottle that I want to try. Once I finally order it and give it a go, I'll let you guys know if I like it or not.
Ellie, flavor shots?
Today?
No, those ones that you had printed out.
Oh, of her when she was yawning?
Yeah.
Yes.
Chris wants to see.
Oh, they're on my printer right there on the layout. See it right there?
Oh, yeah.
You can take them out if you need to. Just put them back in. Because the glare might be too bad if you try to just take a photo like that. Yes. In case you're wondering, that placement was a lot better for me. Now I'm thinking... Do you guys feel like it's missing something? Because I know I do. Not like a huge something. Oh, I think I know what it is. I'm going to add my dates for these photos. And I'm going to add this one right here. And I'm going to add this one like over here. So I feel like it'll pull everything together. I think that's what it needs. I'm going to have to consult my phone for dates because those are not things that I remember. And one was not that long ago. Oh, here's this one. April 14th. We'll do that one first. April 14th, I said? Yeah, 14th.
That's not what he wanted. He put them on your...
Like on this one? Why?
He didn't want pictures of pictures. He wanted you to see. He wanted to see.
Is he watching? Oh.
I don't know if he saw this.
Sometimes I get freaked out when people I know in real life are watching me. But only for like a second, only for the initial shock of like, what do you mean they were watching? And then I'm over it. Okay. Yes, feeling that. Let me close this because it's already dry enough. I haven't ordered the re-inker for it yet, but I need to because it is on its last leg. Apparently that photo was before this one, which I had no idea. Here we are. April 2nd. Cody, did you tell him that the photo I am using of Ellie on this layout happened the exact same photo shoot as the ones that she was yawning?
No, but copy of the photo.
Oh. Yeah. I've used that set of photos of her on many projects. This one she looks mad, but she's not. She just has a little bit of RBF, which everyone in our family seems to have. No, not you. Just the other three of us. I think I'll just go right over top of that die cut. Stamping like that reminds me of library cards that have been stamped and like all the people that have checked them out. And so I think that's why I like the instead of doing all three of them right on top of each other, I like the progression of them moving because it has a nice feel to it. Okay, let me hold it back. My watch is telling me to breathe. I think that might finish it. I feel like I want some sort of pen in there, but I don't want a border. So I'm going to pull out my trusty blue Micron that I'm still loving and try to figure out where I could put a few little doodly bits. Where's a scratch piece of paper? Sometimes I have to practice these things before I go about it in a more permanent way. I just had a piece of scratch paper and I lost it. Here it is. I feel like I could do a little, like, plus sign pattern. Like right there. Actually, let's do it on a piece of vellum. Then I can hold it up and see if I like it. You could do this on like tracing paper also, but I don't have any handy, so I'm thinking that's a bit more whimsical than I'm looking for. Maybe not. Sometimes the decisions that should not take long at all are like the hardest. I'm gonna go for it, guys. Wish me luck. Working. It's something. I don't know. And over here. And then a little bit right here. I will say if you buy one of these notebooks just for writing in, not for like paper crafting or memory keeping in, these pens write amazingly on this paper. I need to do one more because I have 4 and I prefer an odd number, so I'll just add like 2 right here. 3, because again, odd numbers. Then I think really quick, I got this idea mid doodle. I'm gonna add some white dots because the paper in this notebook is more of a cream. You can see the white a little bit. It's not super noticeable, but it does add a little something. Not colorful, vibrant. I'm gonna do those kind of among plus signs, tie everything together, and to not leave any like awkward spaces between the little plus signs, because that happens to me a lot. No, I'm not satisfied. It needs splatters. You guys. I'm gonna do it, and I'm just gonna leave it out all night to dry, and I'm gonna hope that it doesn't stick, because it needs it. When I'm wrong, I admit that I'm wrong. And I was wrong about it not needing splatters. And that was for Drea also. Hi, this notebook is from Shorthand. It is a shop in Los Angeles, and they also have a website. It is called Shorthand. I know, that's why when I found the opportunity to use it just now, I had to use it. I just watched it the other day, and it's been lingering in my head. But he doesn't say admit, he says say, I think. I say I'm wrong. Okay. Yeah, you're welcome. They have a ton of really cool notebooks. These are their own like from their brand, but they do sell other brands as well, like a curated selection of really pretty stationery and paper goods. So I hope you find something you like. Shop Shorthand. So I think I actually have a thank you. Cody's gonna link it for you. There you go. That's the link to their shop. Say I'm wrong. Yeah, as soon as I said admit, I knew that it was say. My brain index can only be searched so quickly. You are most welcome. All right. Okay, you guys, that's what it needed. I'm hoping. Oh, I didn't shake the Heidi Swapp Color Shine long enough, and it is creating little oil rings. And I think you guys can tell it is creating here, right here. You can see little oil rings on the other side of the page. That doesn't bother me. It's if I like did black splatters and the whole next page was black with splatters, that would bother me because it may not go with the color scheme. But a few little oily blobs, just adds character. So if that's the worst that happens, I am good to go with that. Let me see what it did. It did the same thing on the other side, a few oily spots, but again, that doesn't bother me. So I'm gonna leave it out to dry all night. Oh, thank you guys. I'm glad you like it. I like it too. It's really fun, like rediscovering my own personal style. I mean, I always had it along the way. I never like fully lost it, but yeah, just getting a little bit deeper into it. Especially since I want to eventually work on like workshops for you guys and things like that. And it helps to kind of be honed in on my own situation before I get to that. Alrighty, friends. I'm a bit tired tonight, so I think that's where we're going to end it. I did my spiel earlier, so I don't have much to say except that I really appreciate you guys being here, and I love crafting with you. Stay tuned on Instagram to see the schedule for next week, and you can also go to the events tab to set your reminders here on my channel, so don't forget to follow here as well. Alrighty, friends, I'm going to stay for a few minutes and just say bye as you guys type because I don't want to miss them. Good night, Sylvia. Good night, Jen. Night, Dre. Love you. Alrighty, friends. Have a great night. Bye.